Hi, everyone. I'm Chelsea Clinton, Vice Chair of the Clinton Foundation. Thank you all so much for joining the National Council of Juvenile and Family Court Judges annual conference and for celebrating the Council's 85th anniversary. I certainly wish that I could be in Reno with you today because at the Clinton Foundation, we are so proud to partner with the National Council of Juvenile and Family Court Judges through Too Small to Fail, our early childhood education initiative. We started working with the Council in 2020, motivated by our shared commitment to support families and young children. And I've been so grateful for that partnership and by extension grateful to all of you. Early learning and development is an issue that has long been close to my heart, and now as a mother of 3 children is more important to me than ever before. It's just amazing to me as a parent to see the connections that my children make, the way that they engage and interact with one another, with their parents, thankfully, and with the world around them. And we know that part of what fuels those interactions for my children, for your children, for any child, is the words and the language that we surround them with from the moment they're born. That's how children learn new words, build their vocabularies, and ultimately learn how to interact. And yet we know that so many of our children are not getting the start they need. Almost 60% of America's kids show up to kindergarten unprepared. And that is an opportunity for all of us to provide every child with every chance that any child deserves. And that work is all the more important because of the learning loss that the COVID-19 pandemic further deepened. And yet, as I think about that opportunity and that call to action, part of what gives me hope is that every parent and every caregiver has the power to shape their baby's early brain and language development. So too does every adult that comes into contact with a child through talking with them, asking them questions, singing with them, reading to them, and that every moment anywhere can be a language-rich moment. And at Too Small to Fail, we're focused on helping families make those everyday moments be everyday learning moments, whether they're at home, at the pediatrician's office, at the grocery store, at the laundromat, and now at the family court. In January 2020, at the Bell R. Phillips Juvenile Justice Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, I was joined by the incredibly inspiring Judge Ramona Gonzalez and Appellate Judge Maxine White. And together, we launched the first ever family read, play, and learn space in a family court. And it was just remarkable to see how the space had been transformed, that we now had a space that was safe and welcoming and full of educational resources for children and their caregivers. And I couldn't be more grateful that that was just the first, but not the last. And it certainly is a reflection of the Council's priority to instill a sense of care, compassion, and dignity in an environment that too often has been stressful and traumatic for the people who are there, especially the young kids. And so out of that shared commitment, we've continued to create family-friendly, learning-rich spaces in court waiting areas. And we've expanded our focus to include more books and early learning tote bags to be able to give families as they're spending time in court spaces. And we're also working to support court professionals with tools and tips to deliver early learning messages and early learning messages to caregivers during court appointments so that those caregivers know that they are the first teachers for the kids in their lives. And so I just want to say how proud we are of this work together, how urgent we feel that this work is, how imperative it is to us to be able to meet children and families wherever they are, whether it's in a classroom, a grocery store aisle, a laundromat, a playground, a bus stop, a subway, or through family courts. And the more that we can reach more families in more places, the better chance we have of giving every child the chance that they deserve to be able to lead lives in which they thrive and have amazing kind of architecture in which to kind of build their lives because they had caregivers in their lives invest early on in helping to build their brains. So thank you for being part of the work to create healthier, brighter futures for kids, and thank you for being allies, and we're incredibly proud to be in this work together.